Good morning. Welcome to another live interview with myself, Rob Walker from the Sasol Solar Challenge. Today, we are very privileged to be joined by our 2018 winners of the Sasol Solar Challenge, Vattenfall Solar. With me today, I have Christian and Jelle from Vattenfall. Good morning, gents. How are you guys doing?
Morning. Doing really well. Thank you for having us.
Yes, same. I'm doing very well.
Absolute pleasure, guys, and great to talk to you guys. So, obviously it's been quite a long time. I mean, the team was in Australia in 2019. Obviously had an unfortunate incident there just before the finish line. Talk to us a little bit. What's been going on with you guys in the last 6 months? I mean, we caught up with your guys during obviously COVID. We know the team's been working for new projects, but what's news? Basically, catch us up with Vattenfall Solar. What's news on your guys' horizon in the last 6 months?
Yeah, so I can talk about that. So after the World Solar Challenge in 2019, there's a 2020 team, obviously also with the aim to participate at Sasol. Unfortunately, due to COVID, things didn't work out that way. But they did create something really special for themselves here in the Netherlands. With the circumstances of COVID, they managed to set a world record, driving 924 kilometers in 12 hours of time on a closed circuit track, actually. So that's a really nice thing for them to round off a really difficult year. Let's put it that way. And since then, the new team started. That's where I belong. I'm the 2021 team. Obviously, with the aim to participate in the 2021 Bridgestone World Solar Challenge in October of this year. But and we started in a COVID year, which is already a challenge. But then in February of this year, we got like all other solar teams, we got the unfortunate news that the Solar Challenge was cancelled for this year. So yeah, it's been a tough ride. We did, however, make the decision to continue building our solar car. So things are going really well, and yeah, it's an exciting year despite the challenges, but doing really great so far. Yeah.
Fantastic, Christian. And yourself, Jelle, I know, if I'm correct, you published a book recently. Talk to us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, indeed. The whole experience of being a team leader and doing the race in South Africa was a really inspiring year for me and journey. And when I was lying between the lions and elephants on a safari in a tent after the race, still catching my breath of the roller coaster, yeah, it came to me that I wanted to share my experiences, and that changed towards the idea to write a book, which is like a important steps you have to make for young team leaders who are going to do something like the same as I did, without experience, starting a team with people. And what is the first steps you take? What are the important things you have to remember?
Fantastic. Well, hopefully we can get a copy of that and have a look at it. It would be great to have a look at it.
Yeah, of course.
Fantastic. So, Christian, obviously you're team leader for the current block with the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge not happening this year. What is the team currently working towards? Are you guys working towards anything specifically at the moment?
Well, we have holding the options open. There are alternatives being developed by the solar community, which is a great thing to see, and that's also working really motivated for us as a team. So knowing that there will be an event where you can challenge against other teams, that's really great. But the next step for us is actually presenting the car, which will be on the 8th of July. That's something we're really excited about. And actually, I have a hard time not unveiling too much details about the car, although it's very tempting. But that's the first step. And then as COVID now is developing like in the right direction, let's call it that way, more and more is developing on the side of solar events. So we'll have to hold the options open, and see what we can do in order to measure ourselves and the car, of course, against the other teams.
Fantastic. And you mentioned, so new car unveiling on the 8th of July. Are we in for some surprises from Vattenfall? Anything, you know, can you I know you can't share details, but should everyone keep an eye out? Or are we up for something exciting? Is something interesting going to be unveiled?
Yeah. So this year we have designed for the 2021 Bridgestone World Solar Challenge regulations, and they are completely different. So the car will be very different from the cars you've seen. I'm for sure. For example, you're now allowed to use 3 wheels, and you may not use the gallium arsenide cells anymore. You have to use the silicium cells, but also giving you a larger surface of solar cells to use. So a different type of solar car will be there indeed. So it's really exciting. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Jelle, I know a couple of months ago you guys put out that you were recruiting for 2022 to come to the Sasol Solar Challenge here in South Africa. Are you going to be sharing some of your experience with that team when they start getting together to come down here into South Africa?
Yeah, of course. I'm very excited to be able to share all the knowledge, especially because the previous team wasn't able to participate. And actually, I'm already in a lot of talks with all the people, because they are already hired, and they are very keen on starting their journey. Yeah, this August they will start.
Fantastic. So this August, and let me ask this question: what do they think of some of our innovations, things like half blind and full blind stages? Does that get the guys excited to have those kind of strategic changes made to the event?
Yeah, of course. It's always a very exciting part about the Sasol Solar Challenge. That is the strategic part. If you compare it with the Australian race, because you have these loops, there are much more variables you can differ as for the strategy. So especially if there are coming more challenges, that's very, very nice, and we can like show really our experience and skill in putting out the best strategy.
Fantastic. Well, look, it's exciting, and it's great to hear, and that inspires us as organizers to keep innovating and keep giving the teams something new and interesting every time they come down. So thank you for that. And will you be coming back to South Africa? Are you going to be joining the guys as a mentor or as an alumni member?
Yeah, that's the nice structure of our team. Is always, this is all the call of the new team. So they not even started yet, but yeah, they when the time is there, make the decision which persons they want to take with them to South Africa, to the race, and that's depending on which combination of skill they need to complement their skills they build up during the year. So I don't know yet, but I will definitely share as much experience and during the year as possible, and that might be also helpful during the race, and I will certainly join the ride to South Africa again.
Fantastic. And Christian, I mean, obviously you've taken over the team now in the beginning of a COVID year. I mean, it must have been new experiences for you as a team manager with other team managers necessarily haven't had that experience. How did you manage to kind of bond the new team together? I mean, you've obviously got the guys with video calling and stuff. I mean, the first few months, how did you manage to foster that Vattenfall spirit that everyone knows and loves? How did you manage to keep that going as a team leader in a year like this?
Yeah, great question. Thanks. Yeah, to be honest, it was quite a challenge. So to give you an example, when we started this year, we had a couple of sessions where we were able to come together as a team of 17 team members, 17 students. But then here in the Netherlands, COVID developed in a negative way. So there were more restrictions, and we also had to we weren't able to work as a whole team in the office anymore. So we had to work from home like everybody else around the globe. So that gave a challenge indeed to get that team bonding together. Things we came up with, for example, were, of course, you have different phases, brainstorming about different shapes your solar car might look like, building and designing it in the computer, and then building it. And so in all those phases, we try to come up with what we call is champagne goals. and everybody at home had a bottle of champagne. And these were really the different department. Those were really the big goals that you want to accomplish in a certain phase of the project. And we also had, how do you call it, craft beer goals. So they were for the smaller goals. So that was a nice way to keep celebrating and keep those goals in mind, and really, yeah, try to be and get that team feeling as good as possible. That's just one example. Also, something different is the way we work online. We had a workspace. It's called Discord. I think it's from the more of like the gaming community, but in Discord you can create all sorts of rooms, and each team member has his microphone. Now, microphone can be switched off, but your speakers are on, and each department has their own room in which they can work. So they're just working behind their PCs, and then when I have a question for a specific department, I can click on that. I can just shout or speak in the microphone. They will hear it from their computers. So that was also a really nice way to be a team, actually, be it in an online virtual environment. So those were nice examples, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Fantastic.
something to add from, if it's okay with you, Robert.
Please.
From more an outsider look, of course, because for me as a previous solar racer, it was quite impressive to see how this team in those difficult circumstances became such a well bonded team. They were really, they learned each other a lot about each other. They worked together very goodly. How they talk about difficult decisions all online. It's really impressive to see, and also all those setbacks also around the solar challenge, which didn't continued. They even found ways to digest that bad news and look for things in the future, and that's really impressive for a team in this kind of circumstances.
Fantastic, Jelle. Well, thank you for that. And look, gents, I mean, we can carry on talking, I think, for another hour, sure. But look, I'd like to bring us to a close, because we try and keep these sessions short and sweet. Christian, well done. I think it sounds like you've been doing phenomenal work there in a difficult year. We look forward to seeing the unveiling in the 8th of July, and we'll be watching that as it happens. Sounds like there's going to be some exciting developments there. And Jelle, thanks very much for sharing your information with the team, and we look very much forward to seeing Vattenfall back in South Africa in 2022. So from all of us here at the Sasol Solar Challenge, guys, thank you very much for taking some time out of your Wednesday morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Fantastic. So that's Jelle and Christian from the Vattenfall Solar Car team. They're joining us for our latest interview, talking about the challenges that they've experienced currently, and also some of the learnings that they had from 2018. Jelle's experience here in South Africa actually inspired him to write a book. So we are really excited to hear that the team's going to be coming back here in 2022, and we look forward to seeing the developments of the new car on the 8th of July. For myself, Rob, and the entire Sasol Solar Challenge team, thank you for joining us for another interview. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ciao.
Bye.